Right.
Recording in progress.
So, hello guys. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's really lovely to speak to you. I really love your song On The Rob. I think like that kind of blew up like last year, was it? Or like maybe a year or so ago, but it was like I really love it. It's so tongue in cheek. It's so fun. But I think before I get into like the main questions and like the main rundown of the podcast, I just want to like ask you like why you guys wanted to start a band and what kind of drew you together.
Just playing music rules, you know. We were playing in bands for ages. Me and Amy have been playing music together for like 15 years. Been playing music with Finn for the last number of years. It's just the best thing to do. And then it sort of grew into what it is now, and now it's like its own creation now. Now it's like it doesn't belong to anyone anymore. But it started because playing music with your friends is the greatest thing in the world.
Fair enough. So I think we might as well just like get into it. So I was explaining like briefly before what like the kind of main rundown of this whole thing, the whole podcast is. It's just I like to think of songs that would define key aspects of your life, and it's quite a nice exploration of like, I don't know who you are and like what kind of makes life worth living and stuff, if that makes any sense. Because I think as well for me, like music is always, it's one of those things that bonds people from like whatever background they come from and for like different walks of life. So, and it is something that like is there with you throughout your whole life. So before I stop waffling on, what is the song that you feel like reflects your childhood that makes you feel very nostalgic?
Do you got one?
I can go if you've got yours. So I think for me it's probably Damn It by Blink-182. It's like, it sums up all my teenage years. It sums up me starting getting into music, wanting to make music. Just that song encapsulates so much of my childhood of like, okay, I'm learning guitar. I want to learn a different instrument. I want to get into music. And just going to like the skate park or monument every day and like hanging out with people. And yeah, just hanging out with Lou and hanging out with friends. Like that song sums it up perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. I feel like, sorry. No, I listened to that song like when I was like 13, 14. Like, I think like that's when I first started like getting into like pop punk and stuff. So I think it's like that's also a very nostalgic song for me when you said it.
Yeah, for me it would be like something by Blink as well. Just because we were hanging out so much at that time. But my other answer was like Iron Maiden, because I used to listen to my mum's vinyl of it. It was like the first music that I listened to that wasn't just like on the radio or like in an advert. And I left it on the turntable, which had like a plastic cover on it. It was by the window. It sort of magnified the sunlight through the plastic cover and melted the vinyl on top of the turntable.
Nice.
Mine would probably be either The Streets or Arctic Monkeys. Probably 505 by the Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, when I was a kid, that was, I don't know, until probably, I don't know, throughout my childhood and my teenagehood, the Arctic Monkeys were like my favourite band.
Yeah.
Completely, to the point of like basing my personality around that. The Streets as well, I was really into, and I still like that more. Like, I'm not that asked about Arctic Monkeys anymore. It's probably pure nostalgia. I don't know if there's that much in it for me to take the nostalgia. Whereas The Streets, I think, is definitely still like inspirational in the style and the things that he talks about and the way he does it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I think The Streets, they're kind of like quite timeless and iconic. Do you know what I mean? Whereas,
yeah, I mean, I watched this interview with Charlie XCX recently, and she was saying that like the first two Streets albums were like hugely influential on Brat. So yeah, if that shows that it's still timeless and relevant today, if that doesn't show that, then I don't know what it is.
Fair enough. Very good answer. I love it. So the next question is, what song do you feel like reflects your first love or your biggest love? It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be like love of music. It can be like familial love or friendship. It's really because I think obviously when people usually answer it is romantic, but I think like love comes in so many different forms. Like you need to respect all kinds of love, obviously. So who wants to start this one off?
You go on.
Me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, I mean, when I was thinking about it before, like, a lot of the songs that I thought as nostalgic was from not my first relationship, but my first relationship that I still have some fond memories of. And it would be like Alex G and MF Doom. And it was like when I was like 20, 21, so I just moved away for the first time. So like, it was like this, going to uni and meeting all these new people, and suddenly my music taste and knowledge just like widened like that. So Sorry by Alex G. I didn't really understand Alex G for a bit, and then that song just like hit me and made me cry, and then I was completely obsessed for years. And MF Doom, I remember hearing Doomsday through the tannoy in a shoe shop or something, and same again, like never heard any of it before, and it just blew my mind, and then I was obsessed for years and still am. But my biggest love, my partner now, Deja, probably be, I don't know if I could pick a song, but this album by Dijon, I don't even know what it's fucking called. We listened to that a lot when we first met, like all the time. The album is called Absolutely.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. I don't think I've really heard that one, to be honest with you, before. So what would you say is like kind of the vibe of it? Like, just because I don't really know it. Sorry. Is that...
It's okay. I don't know. It's like R&B, but quite poppy. Yeah, there was a big album last year by McGee.
Yeah.
And McGee produced Dijon's album, and Dijon produced McGee's album. And yeah, I don't know, poppy R&B.
Yeah. Fair enough. Sounds really good.
I was gonna say, whenever I listen to like really cheesy metalcore music, like Avenged Sevenfold, the only thing, like, it really makes me think of being in school and having my first girlfriend. I used to listen to that all the time. I used to think it was like the coolest, edgiest, most brutal music. I used to love that band so much. They're really cheesy. I don't really fuck with them now, but it's nostalgic. But yeah, I really like gothic, edgelord, Avenged Sevenfold. Makes me think of school.
So yeah, I think for me I kind of got like two, like first romantic love and first like deepest platonic love, kind of like that familial love. But like the first one would be like Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. It was like my first girlfriend, all she listened to was Gorillaz. It was all she'd play all the time. And it just brings back such memories of like being in the house, being with a family, and like that relationship, and like kind of figuring out what a relationship is, what love is, and kind of learning those feelings and understanding that. But then the more platonic one was probably like Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf, because Meatloaf was my oldest brother's favourite artist.
Yeah.
And he was like my best friend.
Oh, that's
like,
really
for the longest
sweet.
time. And we lost him when I was like 11.
Oh, bless you.
So like that album is so nostalgic for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I think it's hard when you do lose someone like young, because I lost a lot of family members at a young age, and I think like stuff like that really hits you, and I think it's like the little things are really important. So yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, so that is partly like the reason why I did start this podcast as well, was kind of as well a way of me like grappling with my own grief. And I think this is kind of why I did think about like these questions a lot, because when you are faced with like people in their last moments, you do think about your own mortality as well. So that is why I like, yeah, kind of that where my mind went with these things. But yeah, so the next question, it is kind of a bit more dark and it is a bit more morbid, but what is the song that you would want to be listening in your last moments? And also, how would you want to be spending your last moments?
You know the Cheeky Girls?
Yeah, I am familiar.
That's what I want going on when I die.
Nice.
I want to listen to the Cheeky Girls, and I want to be remembering all the times where I was in fact a cheeky girl.
That's kind of iconic. Is there a top 3 moments that you were a cheeky girl, you'd say?
Yeah, but not on this podcast.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know, actually, though, for a sincere answer. It'd be weird, but if I was in my final moments, it'd be nice to like listen to all the music that I made with my friends and stuff, and all the stuff that I'd done.
Yeah.
But that might be odd, but I think I'd like to listen to the stuff I made with my chums.
That'd be really sweet. Would you want to be surrounded with like your mates as well, like so just all listening to it and just
Ideally,
yeah.
Would you not want to be?
Yeah. I mean, sorry. I mean, if I was in a band as well. Sorry, I thought you were you saying that to me or to like your band members?
Yeah, to anyone.
Oh yeah.
Like, would you not want to be surrounded by your friends?
Oh yeah.
If you could be.
Oh yeah, I'd love to like just all friends and family and just like having like a really like. I can imagine myself like at a campfire. Does that make any sense? Or just having like a few like tinnies around a like campfire.
Situation.
Oh no, not like that. But yeah, no, just yeah. But yeah, no, definitely like surrounded by friends. Sorry, I thought you meant like because like you were listening to like this all the songs you made together with your mates as well, so it was just like out there to them. But yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it's anyone there still.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that's always like a very nice way to go, being surrounded by all your loved ones and friends. But yeah. Who wants to take the floor next?
I've never really thought about this. And most of the music that I listen to now is shit and shouty. And that doesn't feel that peaceful. I don't know why I'm like picturing myself very ill in a bed. And I feel like I'm going to need something that's going at a slightly different pace.
Yeah.
I don't know. Neutral Milk Hotel was one. I feel like I had to talk about them at some point in this thing. Because I've liked them since I was like 16. And they're like a band that every couple years or so I get re-obsessed with. And then when we started Cheap Dirty Horse, they were like pretty influential. It was like the biggest part of me and Lou's Zen diagram. Like we didn't necessarily like that much similar stuff at that point, but we both were obsessed with Neutral Milk Hotel. So we kind of lent into that and ran with it, and maybe none of this would have happened and the direction it would have taken wouldn't have happened.
That's crazy. I think Neutral... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and also In the Aeroplane Over the Sea is pretty, like, a beautiful message for when you're dying, like, how beautiful it is to be anything at all.
Yeah.
And all the weird, like, saws in the background, like...
You just say semen like 5 times on the album.
Yeah, not the whole album. We're going to cut out semen. I don't want to be thinking about semen while I'm dying.
Maybe you don't.
When I die, I want to be surrounded by cum.
I mean, there's worse ways to go. Yeah.
Sorry.
Shut
It's
the
alright.
fuck up.
Can we put that out? Alex, don't put that in.
I won't. I'll cut it out, don't worry.
for me, the answer kind of changes based on the situation that I'm dying in. Like, if it's a sudden accident kind of death, like, I just want something that reminds me of people who weren't there.
Yeah.
So, like, again, music of my friends, like, music of, like, people that remind me of my family, and, like, it'd be, like, songs like that. But if it was, like, I had everyone with me, I'd probably want either, like, do I want my absolute favourite song from my favourite album, or do I just want, like, something really serene? So if it was, like, my favourite song, it would perhaps be, like, Nights Like These by Pigeon Pit. Because, again, I feel like I can't not talk about music and not mention Pigeon Pit ever.
Yeah.
Being my absolute favourite band. And the band that saved me from musical burnout. Like, I couldn't write music and I was so burnt out for so long. Until Horse, until, like, finding bands like Pigeon Pit and folk punk, basically.
Oh, lovely.
I, like, studied music, and it's just like, actually, I can't do it anymore. Like, this so burnt me out. So
I know so many people, who went to, like, uni, and, like, they kind of, because they obviously, like, they wanted to do music, and then it's like, after uni, they were like, I'm so sick of music, I don't want to be part of this anymore, like, it's too overwhelming, it's too much. And I think it's such a shame, because there's so many people who are probably really, really fucking talented who, like, I think if maybe even they just did it organic, like, they just stayed organically doing it, like, they wouldn't have had that hit, and they wouldn't have had that, like, really horrible relationship with it when it's, like, it becomes so all-consuming and so intense. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, like, you're consuming it so much at that time, and you're like, I don't know what everyone's uni experience was like, but it was so competitive at my university. And it's like, that just kind of destroyed it for me, that competitive aspect. And everyone like, oh, but this person's better than this person, you want to work with this person.
Yeah.
And, like, all that kind of stuff. Whereas then, like, joining Horse and making music, it's like, oh, this is all about community and picking each other up and working together. It was then like, oh, no, music can be better. It doesn't have to be this competition.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, the bands that kind of going back into writing were Pigeon Pit and, like, something like Nights Like These. Then if I just want something serene, like Gion Sunset by City Girl, and just like some really chilled out lo-fi, just to like relax to and be like, okay, I know I'm dying, I just need to kind of relax and accept it. That's the kind of vibe.
Sounds very chill. Sounds very nice. I like that. Very good answers. And I think as well, like, when you were saying about, like, the competitiveness, I mean, like, so I didn't do music at uni, but I know, like, people who did, and it's like, they were telling me, and I was like, it sounds very toxic and quite overwhelming, and I think, like, it would really, like, put me off completely, like, and I was a bit taken aback by it, because I was like, I didn't know it was that kind of, like, cliquey even, or even just quite, like, yeah, and I was like, oh, that sounds really horrific, and kind of the opposite for me, like, mentality to how I thought, like, the music community or, like, music would be, if that makes any sense. But it's like, yeah, the more people I've spoken to, it kind of, that's kind of their experience. But, like, I'm glad that you've rediscovered your love for music and, like, found your community again. That's really sweet. Yeah. So,
Was the uni you went to, was the uni you went to, like, what Confetti is now, Amy?
No, I don't think it's still there anymore. It was like, it's now like a blueprint school or something, but it's like Clarendon. I did it through like Clarendon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, I was agreeing with everything you're saying, and, like, everyone I know who's done, like, most creative subjects at uni, it ruined it for them. Whereas, like, the scene in Nottingham that seems to have come out of Confetti, everyone seems hungry as fuck.
Yeah.
And loads of bands are doing really well after graduating from Confetti. So I wondered what that is. I know at the Uni of Nottingham it was like quite an academic course, whereas Confetti seems to be like, yo, make some friends and play some songs, and it's encouraging the shows outside the uni and shit. So what were you saying?
I was saying I agree. From the outside, it does seem like Confetti is a bit more laid back and has a chill vibe, and people come out of it in bands doing stuff. I went to Clarendon with Amy, and it was very competitive and annoying, and kind of ruined it for a bit.
So
It depends on having a good environment and a good tutor and a good people around you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's just also like, I don't know, environments. I've never heard of like so I'm not. I've got like mates in Nottingham as well, which is quite interesting. Like that's kind of also how I heard about you. But like I don't. I'm currently based in Leeds, and I went to uni in Manchester, Salford, but like I kind of, yeah, it is weird because like I did journalism and stuff, and I think it is very strange how like it for me, like the whole networking thing and like that side of it ruined it for me in that respect, if that makes sense, because I was like, oh, a lot of it is just like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I think that kind of put a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth when it came to all of that kind of thing. But it is a weird one where it does, like, the environment you're in does really like kind of shape the scene, who you are, and also like where you end up going or what you end up doing, if that makes any sense. But yeah, sorry.
Oh, not at all. It's a good conversation.
Yeah, definitely. So the last question, I think I always say it's like what you want played at your funeral, but I think when I ask it, it's more that I'm wondering kind of what song you feel like reflects yourself and like your whole life, if that makes any sense. Just yeah.
Institutional by suicidal tendency.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know for a serious level. My partner has had a playlist that she once played at her funeral since she was like 14 or something. I don't think about
It's got to be outdated by now. There's got to be like new stuff on.
I presume that she updates it. I don't know. She hasn't handed it over to me yet. I feel like that's like, I don't know, a step before marriage. It's like your child,
Yeah.
your playlist.
Yeah, I don't know what sums up my life. The 15-minute B-side medley on the back half of Worry by Jeff Rosenstock. It's beautiful, and then it's fast, and then it's loud, and then it's beautiful again, and then it ends in a big crescendo and a big blaze of glory. Yeah, if that's a wishful thinking, that's me. Yeah.
That's adequately extra.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard because the first thought that comes to my head is I'm Not a Good Person by Pat the Brain. And I think it's because, like...
Oh no.
Sorry, no, executive decision. We're not playing that at your fucking funeral.
We can play what we want at any funeral. We'll play the chicken dance. Man.
Fucking me. She dead. She's not gonna know. Sorry.
It's alright.
No.
Sorry.
And it's, like, tough because, like, you listen to that song, you listen to the lyrics, and it's, like, you relate to, like, the kind of feeling of, like, inadequacy and, like, you not being a good person. So, like, that feels like, when that's so internalized how you view yourself, like, that kind of sums up how you think others perceive you. So that's the first that comes into my head. But then it's hard.
It's so wild that you relate so hard with that song because, like, the things that they talk about, that he talks about on their things, none of them are anything that I would equate with you in any way. Like in my head, you are the opposite of how he feels in that song.
What song would you pick then? Just for the for Amy.
For Amy?
Yeah, because like if you're saying it's like the opposite of what you'd think.
By James Blunt.
Oh.
If you were to stick with Pat, Heart is a Muscle, it's about how he struggles, but he carries on. That's Amy. Amy struggles to fuck. Amy's had a harder time than most, but is like the most beautiful, strong, gorgeous person that can do anything despite how she feels. That's Amy.
That's beautiful.
And has managed to take none of her trauma and like direct it outwards. Like, I've never met a better kind of person.
What do we look at?
And has put all of this in.
Yes.
This is a fucking dress rehearsal for Amy's funeral. Like, speeches and shit.
Oh no.
Shit.
Are you alright? Yeah.
I'm
Bless
gonna
you.
cry now.
Oh.
Abort!
You do seem like a really gentle, like, lovely soul, I have to say. Like, I know this is, like, the first time I've kind of... I know, like, this is over Zoom, but like I've met you, but you do seem like such a very just lovely, calm presence. So I could say I agree. Yeah. Bless you.
Amy's the best of us.
Oh. That was really sweet. I don't know how to end things now, or like to kind of like, because this is like a really sweet, genuine moment.
Rest in peace, Amy.
On that lovely note, is there any songs or any gigs that you're wanting to promote? Again, bear in mind this will probably be coming out like end of April, May time, if like it'll be released.
I think it's a
End
mash
of
tour.
May, June, when the tour is.
Yeah?
End of May, start of June.
Is that Bangers and Mash with Miles Bullen?
Yeah.
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 We're going on tour with our friend Miles Bullen. You can be your friend too if you come and see us at any of the shows on that tour. We're away for a whole week at the end of May, start of June. Bangers and Mash tour. Cheap day host with Miles Bullen. Get tickets now.
Yippee! Woo! Sounds good. Yeah, I'll like definitely promote. Where are you playing? So, where are you playing? Just out of curiosity.
We're playing at The Grove in Nottingham with Jonk. We're playing at Dead Wax Digby in Birmingham with Sunnyside Down. We're playing at the Elysium Gallery and Bar in Swansea with Aether Supertramp and Cosmo. We're playing at Exchange in Bristol with Commoner. We're playing at New Cross Inn in London with Elena, Syra and Dead Fran. We're playing in Manchester at the Pier Hat with Ceiling Demons, Rain McMay and Cluster. And we're playing at Casimir Stockroom with Picture Skew and Uruya.
Lovely.
Amazing that you just remembered that.
I think you might have it
All from my brain.
Yeah. Totally not reading it at all. Well, if you're in any of those put cities, please check them out. They're lovely guys. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the pod. It's been really lovely meeting you. And also, it was actually just very genuinely sentimental, very sweet moments. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you for taking the time out for coming on. It's lovely meeting you.
Thanks for having us on. That was fun.
Alright, don't worry.
It was really nice meeting you too.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna love you and leave you now. So I'll let you know when it's going to be released in advance as well. Do you know what I mean? So like I'll do a bit of like promotion for it and everything. But yeah, lovely.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Nice. Cheers.
Recording stopped.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.